Hey, Toy Family! Welcome to the last episode of the Marsham Toy Hour. For 2016, I'm Gary Ham.
I'm George Gaspar.
And I'm Carlos East.
Welcome back, Carlos.
What's up?
Well, hey guys, Aaron sent over a brief recorded message that I think I should play for you and all the listeners. So here we go.
Hi guys, I just wanted to make an announcement. First of all, Happy New Year. When you listen to this, it'll be pretty close to New Year's. So Happy New Year. It was a really fun first year on Marsham Toy Hour. And as the regular listeners know, I've probably been on less than half of the episodes. And that's due mostly to the fact that we opened a store down in Philadelphia called Mothership. And it was a tremendous amount of work to get it open and to manage it and keep it going. And in addition to that, you know, we're still doing online and still doing production, and there's a few other new projects that are in the works. And Gary and I had to talk, and we just felt it was probably better to get a few new contributors to the show. And so I won't be on the show anymore, but that doesn't mean I won't be listening and supporting the show. And always feel free to reach out to me if you have a question about some kind of toy or production issue or anything like that. I'd be glad to give people feedback on stuff. So anyway, it was really great, fun year, and I wish Gary and George and anyone else who's going to be on the show a lot of fun and a lot of luck for 2017. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Aaron. There you guys have it. Another man down. Aaron has decided to leave us, just taking a page from Tyler a few months back. I swear it has nothing to do with me. Maybe it does. I don't know. But either way, Aaron is leaving, and I'm sure anyone who's been a casual or even frequent listener of the show is probably not too big of a surprise. You know, anyone who's been paying attention the past several months, especially since he's been trying to start up or has started up Mothership out there in Philly, he's been on pretty sparingly, and it has a lot to do with how much workload it is, his drive time into Philly from New York. He's on the East Coast. We're on the West Coast when we record, so you know it's usually pretty late by the time he has to join, and he's just a busy guy running the day-to-day operations of the online toy store, running productions, and the setting up the brick and mortar, and going to conventions and running custom shows. So he just has a lot going on, and that's kind of what we talked about when we talked is priorities, where his attention's at, and I think he just decided going into 2017 it was best for him to, you know, announce he's leaving the show and just focus everything on what he has going on with Martian Toys and Mothership and everything else. So we wish him all the best on all future endeavors, and nothing's going to change here at the Marsham Toy Hour. We're still going to be the Marsham Toy Hour. We'll stay the course as to what we've been doing. You know, George is still going to be with us. We'll probably have more guest hosts join us depending on, you know, episodes and whatnot. And there you have it. So Aaron will be missed, but we're going to move on.
I like how he said he's still going to listen. He's never even listened to the show.
I think
no, that's
40.
cool. I'm glad that everything is like when Tyler left. You know, there's always a chance. There's always a chance to come back.
Oh yeah.
And you know, be on it at any point. So it's good.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. Just kind of not being obligated or expected to be on weekly. And, you know, it's just kind of just saying that you're going to part ways, and then he can just casually come back as something pops up with Martian Toys or, you know, whatever. Kind of what Tyler was doing. Just pop on every once in a while. And I'm sure that's, you know, will probably be more the case with Aaron too. So, Carlos, that means a spot has opened up. You want to activate our twin powers and become a regular on the show?
Yeah, the Mexicans are taking over the jobs, man.
They took our job.
You know,
hey, that's how I got on the show.
Yeah, that's exactly
are you Mexican?
How it happened.
Well, you know what? Gaspar sounds very Mexican.
It does indeed.
So yeah, your name sounds more Mexican than mine. Mine is like East. Yours is Gaspar. Come on, dude.
Does that mean I have to change mine to Jamon?
There you go. Yeah. The Jamon Hour.
Yeah, I think with your background and previous experience in toys and art, I think you'd make a great addition to the team. It just makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm super happy to be here and talk shit with the guys.
I think we're going to have to add some subtitles to you, though. What do you think?
I think so. It was my suggestion. Last time I heard the last show, and sometimes I'm like, what the hell am I saying? And other times I'm saying these words that I don't recall saying. Like they're so like, I don't know, fancy words. Not as fancy as J-Ryu. Because let me tell you, that motherfucker is a word slinger.
Yeah, he is. He's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
He's a wordsmith, man. He talks so eloquent. So kind of like in the middle. So I was listening to myself. And I was saying these things, and I'm like, oh, did I really say that? I sound intelligent. Not that I'm not. But,
I wouldn't say you sounded intelligent, but yeah. You sounded good. You sounded good. But yeah, there was a few times. Even when I was editing, I had to play it back a few times, and usually it was the Spanish words when you were saying like the three blind men. I can't think of the name for the.
Oh, los tres reyes magos.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
the three blind men. Yeah, the three blind men.
So yeah, it looks like we're having some changes for 2017. Looks like you'll be joining the crew. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Just a bunch of cool dudes talking about cool stuff.
That's right. What do you think we talk about little leaks and sneak peeks before? Well, hold up. We have been Kano'd again. And,
dude.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, so here we go. Kano commented this week that he thinks leaks and sneak peeks sounds like something that gay guys might do at the urinals. And
does he know much about that? I don't know.
I don't know. But he might have a point there. It never actually crossed my mind.
Beasted.
But
he just got beasted.
Yeah. But I can't get that imagery out of my head now that it's been planted. So if I can't unsee it, I wonder if the listeners might not be able to see. So maybe for 2017, we should reach out to the listeners for a potential new title for this segment. What do you think?
I say we just embrace it and run with it. I love it. Let's make t-shirts.
Let's make t-shirts. It's leaks and sneak peeks.
All right.
Sneak dicks.
What the hell are you talking about? Actually, this sort of a leak or a sneak peek into 2017. Kano is actually going to be joining the show. Well, not really, but we have discussed, he and I, about coming on the show and doing just maybe a 30-second, 1-minute segment called Kano'd.
Nice.
Where he'll just drop some commentary on either maybe something that we said on a previous episode or something he saw on social media that week that he wants to drop some Kanoisms on. So, looking forward to that.
Laying some knowledge.
Well, I don't know about knowledge, but he'll definitely bring some hard truth. For sure.
Some sass.
Some sass.
Some jazz hands.
I can't picture him doing jazz hands.
I can.
Maybe some break dancing. Do you go. You guys know him well? I'm not sure. I think I've met him once or twice, but I don't think he and I have actually carried a conversation.
I just saw him this Saturday at 3D Retro.
Okay.
For your birthday.
Yeah, for my birthday. It was my birthday, and it was pretty cool. We went to 3D Retro. Who was painting the mural in there, George?
Juan Munez.
Oh, yeah, Juan Munez. Because there was the release of his toy with 3D Retro. Pretty cool piece. Pretty dope. And my boy Kano was there. He was there having a good time. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he comes to all the to a lot of the 3D Retro events. He's local to Burbank, so it's easy for him to get there. So it's cool. It's nice of him to stop by and be there for those things.
Yeah, he lives really close by.
And if anyone's interested in seeing that mural, it's got to be what 12 to 15 feet tall. Like
it's big.
It's a giant mural. I'm sure you could see 3D Retro's Instagram account or some. It's got to be on there. Well, maybe not. It's Ben. But hopefully he posted it on there.
No. It actually, it's in his Facebook. I don't know. I saw he was doing a video with his drone.
Oh, that's right. He did a Facebook Live video. He had a drone. He got a drone that he can fly now, and it has Facebook Live capabilities. So I'm sure he'll be using it at all the events now. Pretty
sweet, dude. That's a toy, dude. That's a toy. And then he had to get a register for the FDA.
FAA.
No, FAA. Well, the FDA would be a completely different game.
Yes.
The Food and Drug Administration.
I know, dude. Like, why? When I said it, I was like, why would you have to do that? So it's gonna be cool, like watching those events and the live painting and all that stuff with the drone is gonna be cool. I'm excited.
All right, who wants to go first on leaks and sneak peeks?
I can go first.
Do it.
I saw this thing on Instagram. My friend Christian Michael, he's also Mexican and he has a very, very American name, Christian Michael. He's doing this series of busts, and he had one in at DesignerCon. It was a dragon with like a hoodie on and a hat. It's pretty sweet. But I saw this other dude that is doing the sculptures for him. Also a Mexican sculptor called Chucho Rojas. So I stumbled upon the sculpture, which is pretty talented. And he did this really awesome bunny. I don't know if he's going to do it in resin or what, but it's pretty sweet, dude. It's called Chucho Rojas.
See, that's why I like adding. There's a lot of Brazilian artists, a lot of Mexican artists. Like now, you can you can pronounce all this stuff.
Yeah, Chucho Rojas, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'll tag you in it right now.
Nice.
And then I also saw this thing. When you're browsing on Facebook and stuff, silly stuff comes up. I saw these toys. They're called Feisty Pets. Have you ever seen those?
No, I don't think so.
So they're really cute looking, big eyes, little plush guys. So they're like pandas and cats and bunnies, and there's even a unicorn. But I think you press the back or like squeeze them, and they just turn diabolical, dude. Like they open their mouth and they have like sharp teeth and their eyes become evil.
Sounds cool to me.
They're super cool, dude. My favorite one is the monkey, dude. Dude, they actually, I don't know, like the way they engineer them is pretty sweet, because like when you see them like normal, it's like, oh, how cute. But then you like press the belly or whatever. They call Feisty Pets.
Feisty Pets. I'm looking them up now. Sounds like an animal turned evil.
Yep. The unicorn is pretty sweet too.
Those are
like 20.
Oh, I have seen this. I think I saw like a YouTube video of it. Yeah, that's awesome. Those are great.
Yeah, I saw that YouTube video and I thought it was like, like fake or whatever, because they look pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was like just like trying to be like a viral video sort of thing. I didn't realize these things were actually real.
Yeah, dude, they're really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, like that. If I had kids, I would totally fuck with them with these kind of toys. Like, oh, look at this.
You torment your kids with these things? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, it would be so much fun. Eat your vegetables, or otherwise the cat goes mad. Until they figure out it's daddy like just messing with them, and they'll retaliate.
If Walmart, it says here that Walmart carries them, so if Walmart carries them, they can't be that bad, because they're usually pretty tough on products getting approved.
Mom, they sell guns, dude.
Well, true.
How can they?
$16.99 plus free shipping.
Plus free shipping.
Everything's free shipping nowadays, except for us. Everyone's doing free shipping, which hurts the little man, because we can't really, match free shipping.
Prices of shipping have gone up substantially.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Substantially.
Oh, totally. I remember shipping a package, 10 years ago, cross country would have cost about, a less than 2 pound package would have ran about $8. And now for me to ship that same item cross country, it's more than double. It runs about almost $17. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not helping us. I think that's another thing with the toy scene in general, is just pricing of shipping, especially when you go international.
Dude, international also. Like I usually ship a lot to, I don't know, Japan, Italy. Like I'll go to a bunch of collectors in Italy. And yeah, the shipping is just crazy.
It is. This is such an international toy scene. Like, we're such a niche thing, and so we're spread all over the globe. And for international shipping to be as expensive as it is, I mean, it's not helping things at all.
Yeah. Is this a new section? Us bitching about shipping?
Actually, that's a great segue into mentioning some of our sponsors here at the Marsham Toy Hour. None of which have free shipping. We have printsonwood.com. If you're interested in having any of your artwork or photography printed on beautiful, sustainable wood, head on over to printsonwood.com. We have 3dretro.com. They also have a brick and mortar location out there in Glendale, California. So if you're in the Southern California area, be sure to check out one of their openings or toy releases. And we have StrangeCatToys.com. If you want to save 10% off your order, be sure to use Marsham at checkout. Actually, that 10% off might get you free shipping. All right, George, what do you got for us?
Okay, did you guys see on Spanky Stokes, they put up a thing about Tracy Tubera's Jordan Sith infrareds?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see those pictures? So it looks like it almost looks like the same style as he did that Back to the Future McFly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that same like cool big sneaker. Like it's kind of like focusing on the sneakers and then the guy is like secondary to it.
Yeah.
So this one, it looks like it's the old Jordans and it's Darth Vader obviously wearing them. And I don't know, it's really cool. I just love his art style, and these are always translated really well. Like you can always tell that it's his style of art just translated into 3D, which is really nice. And it looks like it was done with Mana Studios. So Carlos, you probably know a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was making those. Yeah.
We need to talk to you about that. Once we get out of this segment, let's talk more about what you do over at Mana.
Yeah, I saw Tracy today. Say hi to him. He's stoked how the pieces came out. They're pretty cool. My friend Willie Cow is the one that did the 3D sculpt. He usually does those. When you see sometimes somebody that it's an illustrator and then they make a toy, because I would consider Tracy an illustrator, right?
Yeah, or a designer. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like when something like that is translated correctly. Like when it translates in a nice way. The cool thing about this piece is like it has this weight to it, like the cape, the weight, like super clean. And of course the shoes, he likes shoes. Every time I see him, he's got like super cool shoes.
Nice.
It makes me want to work in a place that I can actually like have clean, nice shoes instead of shoes full of like fiberglass and resin.
Yeah, I think you got to be a pencil guy to be able to wear shoes. Or digital guy maybe.
Does he still have an office over at the Fantasy Factory?
Who, Tracy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they still have a Fantasy Factory? Didn't that thing shut down?
No, I saw a story from actually Kano today. I saw a story of him pushing a skateboard around the factory today.
I think Kano's your new man crush.
Dude, sorry, Nathan. Nathan
Urevicius is out.
Yeah, Nathan, move over. I like
he
like the short guys apparently.
He likes some short Latino flavor.
Sure.
Yeah, shirtless.
All right, Gary, what's your leak?
What's your leak?
Well, my leak isn't much of a leak anymore. By the time this airs, it's probably been out for about a week and a half. But along with the Arcane Divination Dunny series, there's going to be a second Dunny series set to release the second quarter of 2017.
No way.
So, yep. Kid Robot, in collaboration with Designer Toy Awards and Clutter Magazine, are set to release the DTA Dunny Show mini-series.
Wow.
There are 5 artists involved, all of which have not previously designed a production Dunny. So I think that's pretty awesome. And the artists are Andrea Kang, Quix, The Bots, So Yoon Lee, and myself.
Whoa.
So, yeah. Each artist got 3 Dunnies to design, and there's no set theme for the series. So it's pretty exciting.
That's really cool. I'm looking at the photos, and it seems that you made a bunch of them. How many designs did you make?
I did 3, and I think one of the designs gets another colorway.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what it
it's
looks
probably
like.
blacked out in the image. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that happened with a couple of the artists. And one thing that surprised me too was Quix. So the artists all got 3 designs, but Quix really only did 1 design, but he did 3 different colorways of that design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe he would at least do, one more original design, and then he could have just done 2 of his main
Character,
tech
right?
character. Yeah.
They look,
But still,
they look pretty cool.
Yeah, still they look great. The colorways are vastly different, so it's still very cool. And his fan base is super excited that he's getting a Dunny in the series. So
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
I like the one that you did with the little guys. Are there gonna be like micro Dunnies?
They are micro Dunnies, so they're probably going to be about the size of the zipper pull money.
Okay.
But we'll see how the production, because a 3-inch Dunny is really small, so those are going to be pretty small. They're designed to be separated so they can stand alone on their own.
Nice.
But there might be a peg situation with a hole in the bottom of the Dunny feet, but maybe a peg on the tree branches and the swing. So, so yeah, look forward to that. It should be releasing in May.
That's awesome. Do you remember, like, in the time?
Too.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Those little Dunnies remind me when, back in the heyday of the Kid Robot, when they used to have all the stores and they used to make a lot of clothing, a couple of the hoodies had like a zipper pull with a little silver micro Dunny.
Really?
Yeah, I still have one somewhere, and it was really cool. And I always wanted to do something like that, like somebody could customize one of those rainy day Dunnies and then just put a bunch of the little guys inside instead, like a gumball machine. I don't know. There's so much cool stuff that you can, for the customizers too, like they can get all those little Dunnies and make really cool stuff.
There was a really tiny Dunny. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was it
was with a kangaroo, right?
Yeah, with the kangaroo with the boxing gloves.
Yeah, and it was in the little pouch, and it had to be what, a quarter of an inch tall, maybe even less.
It was so tiny.
That's got to be the tiniest.
It was too tiny. I like this. I like that design, man. Congrats.
Thanks.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, it's interesting that there's going to be 2 Dunny series releasing so soon next to each other.
Back to back.
I think Arcane Divination's like in April, and this one's going to be in May, but they're different. Arcane Divination definitely has a theme to it, and this one's just a free for all, whatever the designers wanted to do. So
it's a little more playful too. Maybe catering to the younger crowd. I don't know.
Yeah, younger crowd. I think
Kawaii.
I think Clutter probably did the curation on this and selected kind of more of a cute in majority of the theme, which I think is going to contrast really nicely with what J. Rue curated for the Arcane Divination Dunny series. So even though they're kind of coming out back to back, I don't think they have the same target audience. So I don't think they're going to compete with each other. So I think it's going to be totally fine and very awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos, since you looks like you're going to be a little more regular on the show, how about we get to know you a little bit more? So you had mentioned in the Leaks and Sneak Peeks that George was talking about that you actually work over at Mana Studios, correct?
Yeah, I work there Monday to Friday.
So hold up, can you explain what Mana Studios is? We have a lot of listeners that aren't as familiar with the designer toy scene as probably we are. So why don't you take a second to just explain what Mana is?
So Mana Studios is it's a studio that makes all sorts of cool stuff, like prototypes for big names, like big toy companies, and sometimes we do stuff for movies or amusement parks. We also do some of or most of the resin stuff that you see out there, like when there's like a resin production, such as the Tracy Tubera, like we made all those Darth Vader ones. We made the Back to the Future. We also made those, the Breaking Bad. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. Made those. And I've, I used to work with Mana getting stuff made from them. And then I started working there. And it's cool because, you learn about a bunch of stuff. And it's like going to school because you're learning stuff all the time. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
How long have you worked there?
It's going to be almost a little over a year.
Okay.
A little over a year. I've always known all mold making and all this stuff because when I grew up in Mexico, my dad was an actor. So we grew up in movie studios, and we used to hang out a lot with the special effects people. So, we learned how to do crazy stuff at very early ages. So yeah, it's cool. I'm in charge mainly of the fiberglass department.
Oh, that's the big stuff.
Yeah, the big stuff. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of work. Sometimes people, when they bitch about the prices, yes. George can tell you, like, when you look at your hands and you see, you have cuts and like splinters and your fingernails are gone because you're been sanding shit like for weeks. And when people see, oh, this is too expensive, they never think about like the process of making stuff, especially
Right.
making stuff here in the States, because when you make stuff in China, it's kind of like a gray area where you don't really know who's making what, or how old is the people making the stuff, or how much they're getting paid.
Exactly.
But here in the States, like when you make a wooden piece, you know, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of sanding or prepping, and then you're a perfectionist. Like when I've seen your stuff, I remember I was there on that show that you had in
the sentimentary show at Stranger Factory.
Yeah, Stranger Factory.
Yep.
Such good pieces, man. They're so
Thanks.
clean. They're really cool. So it's hard. So to the people out there, just think about how things are made. They just don't appear out of nowhere. There's a human, not only,
multiple humans usually,
or
too.
multiple humans, making them, dude. So we make the big stuff, the fiberglass. I like the fiberglass, although, every time somebody tells me like, oh, that's the most toxic, and I'm like, I know, I wear respirators and special clothing and all that stuff, but still, I don't know.
How do you get to the large scale point of fiberglass? Is the stuff sculpted in styrofoam first, and then you guys slap a lot of like clay over it and then just sand down from there?
There's many ways you can get like an actual big sculpture. Like usually people either do like a CNC in foam.
Okay, so wait, let's stop there, because CNC is probably not a process that maybe some listeners aren't familiar with. CNC actually stands for Computer Numerical Control. And what that means is it's a process of manufacturing that utilizes computers to control machine tools. So you'll program something into the computer, and that computer program is then it can control probably a lathe or a mill or a router or a grinder or a variety of machines to create what you're telling it to sculpt for you.
And you just basically go to town, clay it up, make big molds with different. I mean, there's so many ways to make molds. You can brush it on, or you can put clay and then put the fiberglass, take the fiberglass out, and then take out the clay and then put the fiberglass back again, pour the silicone so you make the silicone part. I don't know. It's just, I love stuff like that, learning and doing stuff like that. Although, if I had the money, I would get other people to make it for me. It's just so tiresome, man. And you know what? I would say 85 to 90% of what all this is sanding. Because you make the parts and then you put them together and then you have to sand them to make them look pretty.
Is the casting on something that large of a scale? Do you guys have like giant rotocasting machines there?
Yeah, it's called Humans. Yeah, we basically
you guys just spin the thing around yourselves.
Yeah, we basically close the mold, and then again we go to town. We just like start rotating it, like kind of like we pour the chemicals inside to
So are you guys hand like spinning it, or is it like in a rotary system where you guys have cranks and it's spinning?
Dude, you make it sound so fancy. No, it's just we make it spin. And usually it's just like a little bit of material just to hold it together. So when you demold it, then you can start like putting the fiberglass inside of the piece, which is another adventure. Because you never know what's going to be inside. There's like sticky stuff and pointy stuff.
Oh, tons of pointy stuff.
Tons of pointy stuff and sharp, very sharp.
When something's that large scale, how does it get painted? Is it almost treated like an automotive painting job at that point, where it's you go into a spray booth and you spray it and then clear coat it? And I know a lot of the fiberglass stuff has like a real sparkly clear coat to it. Is that kind of what you guys do?
Yeah, it's automotive. And the best thing to do is kind of like break the pieces. I mean, if it's something solid without any, seams or anything, it has to be painted in one go. But if you can break it in different pieces, it's way better, because then you paint those separately, and then at the end you just put everything together. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
What clay are you guys using when you get like a CNC printout? What kind of clay are you covering it in?
Well, first you have to like the foam. You have to create like a shell. So we usually use like an epoxy, like a liquid epoxy that you just like put over the foam.
Okay.
And it kind of creates a protective shell because otherwise the foam, I mean, there's more rigid foams, but some of them, the cheaper ones, which is usually what people want to pay. If you grab it hard enough, you can leave your finger marks in there. So
Right.
you have to be super careful.
Yep.
And then that's it. Once you do that, we use this thing called Clean Clay. I didn't even know the brand. It's just called. Do you know the brand? I just call it Clean Clay.
I think it's just called Clean Clay.
Yeah, it's just Clean Clay, which is not clean because it's got like fiberglass shards from other uses. So that's another thing. You have to be careful when you're using that. You can find like surprises in there.
My father worked in auto body for his entire life. Do you guys use Bondo at all?
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
All the time. Okay.
Bondo. All the time.
Love the smell of Bondo. How about you guys?
Oh, God, forget it.
Forget
No?
it. I used to like it, and then now it's like,
I think it's
Not
like a
when you're around
childhood
it
smell
enough.
for me. Yeah.
yeah. When you're around it every day, it's. But yeah, Bondo is a very very useful tool.
Yeah, it sands pretty easily, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sounds like you got a pretty cool job, but I'm sure to you it's probably just a job like any other job, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I enjoy myself. I'm not gonna lie, because
Every job though becomes just work after a while. It doesn't matter if you're making toys or you're doing, you're digging ditches. Every job is work after a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. There's the good days and the bad days.
There's the days where it's just going to be doing the monotony sanding all day long, right?
Until your fingernails are gone.
And your joints. I know when I do too much sanding, my fingers almost like they start to lock up.
Yeah, mine too, dude. Mine
Yeah.
cramped up like they look like lizard man hands.
Cool. I didn't know. I had no idea you worked there until the end of last episode. You had mentioned that you worked there, so it's cool to know what you do for a day job.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, sometimes people have like really weird day jobs. Like I remember Chris Rainiak used to work for, what was that company? They
American Greetings.
American Greetings. He used to work for American Greetings, making like good old cheesy cards.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of his stuff in Hallmark and
Yeah,
Target
and the
and all
funny
that
thing
stuff.
is, like, probably you wouldn't be able to recognize it because it's just like something they were asking him to do. Like,
Exactly.
generic.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that probably anyone who's ever worked in a corporate artistic environment, for the most part, you don't get to work in your own style. You have to work in I don't want to say generic, but like a house style, or you're often someone else has already set the style guide and you just kind of have to match that. And that's kind of what I do at my day job. I work for an educational company and it's a good job, it keeps me creative and everything, but at the same time, I probably worked there for the last 12 years and there's probably nothing that I've done that any of the listeners would be able to look at and know that I had my hand in it. There's a lot of jobs like that where a lot of great artists working in jobs like that where they don't necessarily get to work in their own style at all.
Yeah, absolutely. You know who did that? Salvador Dali, the famous painter, designed the logo for Chupa Chups. Have you ever seen Chupa Chups?
No, but I like the way you say it. I know.
Have you seen Chupa Chups?
You know what Chupa Chups. It's a lollipop brand.
It's a lollipop brand.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Chupa Chups. And he designed the logo.
Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. How like
a world famous artist, and he did the Chupa Chups logo.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of stories like that.
Like in the 70s or something like that. It's like so nuts, dude. Like, so maybe it's okay to have like odd jobs and day jobs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not that bad.
No.
In the future, they're gonna say, "Oh, do you know that artist master Gary Ham?
No, they're not.
He used to make these silly toys for companies, and look at him now.
Yeah, one day I'll be on the Antique Roadshow and someone's gonna be like, "Who did this? Look
Yeah.
at this thing. Look at this, the crazy thing. This is what is this? This is from the Aztec Dunny series in 2004.
What is that? What is a Dunny?
You never know.
You're gonna be swimming in your gold swimming pool like Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are you guys excited about the reboot of DuckTales?
This is the first I'm hearing of it, actually.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back with like really
DuckTales,
awesome.
woo!
Woo woo. So they're
I
bringing
never really
it back,
watched that
dude.
one. I wasn't a big. I know. I just wasn't into DuckTales. I know a lot of people were. Just wasn't my thing.
Really?
No.
What about you too, George?
I think I heard that they were bringing it back, but I don't really know anything about it. But yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I mean, I watch that all the time.
It looks like fun.
What about you, George? You take any odd jobs?
I think every one of my jobs are odd.
Yeah, but you still pretty much work for yourself, right? Have you ever taken a job?
I mean, I work for myself a lot of the time, but I also do.
You do a lot of prop stuff, right? A lot of effects work and whatnot.
Yeah, like I work for a couple. The one I work for the most is called Film Illusions, and I do some like costuming effects, like special effects costumes for like superheroes and things like that. Like the one that came out this year that I worked on was Deadpool.
I love that story, dude. So
What's that?
let me tell you like a little background. So when George tells me like, "Oh yeah, I worked on this Deadpool costume," I was like, "Oh, so sick." So in my mind, I'm thinking about, George masterminding all these things. And then when you showed me like, "Oh yeah, this is what I did," and then what is that you do in that costume?
Oh, just very little. On that one, I did like his bracelets and just like a couple little buckles and things like that.
Which is awesome.
That one I worked very little on. But
he's awesome, dude. But then I realized, dude, these movies are so big and their budgets are so large. They have like these big crews making like these costumes like.
Oh yeah, you ever watch the credits at the end of one of these movies?
I know,
it goes on for 20 minutes.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And then I figure out like, dude, that's why. Super hyper talented people like George like making like a puzzle, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Tyler Ham, a previous host of the show, he got some work on the Rogue One.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but it could have been a small, tiny part but still, he can say that he worked on it, and his name's going to be in the credits, and you can go to IMDb and search his name now, and Rogue One will pop up.
Did you watch it? Did you watch Rogue One, Gary? I know George did.
I did see it, but I think I'm probably in the 5% of the people that. I enjoy Star Wars, but I'm not in the fandom. Like, I probably haven't seen A New Hope in probably over 20 years. So I knew where Rogue One fell in the timeline, but I didn't geek out on the film until it probably took an hour and 45 minutes for me to, like, really wake up and enjoy it. The guy next to me fell asleep. I would say it took about an hour 30, hour 45 for me to really start feeling nostalgic feelings about it, and then I thought it was good, but I cannot imagine seeing it 2-3 times like a lot of people are. I could not do it. No way.
I can tell you that it's one of my favorite ones.
See, everyone's saying that. They're like comparing it close to Empire Strikes Back.
No. This one doesn't have any I cannot compare it to anything. It's just like the fact that the main guy, it's a Mexican actor, is pretty cool, right? Second, I don't know. It was like dark, like a lot of, people died, and I don't know. I enjoyed it. What about you, George? What do you think?
Is this a toy podcast or a spoiler podcast about Star Wars?
Well, it's going to become a toy because they're going to make toys of that, dude.
There already is.
Raplos.
Yeah, there already is.
Yeah.
Have you seen the toys? I haven't seen the toys.
I don't pay too much attention to Star Wars toys.
Fair enough.
I see them. Of course I see them, but the Star Wars section just isn't something that I, just gravitate to. I don't know why. God, you know what? I hate admitting that I'm not on that fandom level that everybody else is with Star Wars. It's like I almost feel peer pressure to want to love the movie, and I do. I really enjoy it. I'm just not on that next level. Sci-fi just isn't my thing. But you know what? I do enjoy it, and I know once my kids start seeing the movies and they start getting into it, they're gonna love it. And I know seeing Star Wars through their eyes, it's just gonna reinvigorate that love of the franchise to me. And for sure, it's all gonna come back and hit me again.
Yeah. Fair enough.
George, you're in New York right now. Are you in... What part of New York are you in? Are you going to be able to visit any of the toy stores out there while you're visiting?
I'm going to be going down into the city at some point next week. I don't know if I'll be going to any of the toy stores at all that are there. What's left even? My Plastic Heart and Toy Tokyo, right?
And
My Plastic Heart and Toy Tokyo are really the only two I can think of.
I mean, I generally try and stop by those places when I go. I mean, my Plastic Heart I've only actually been to once before, but Toy Tokyo I try and go to every time I'm in the city. But so maybe I'll try and do both if I can while I'm there.
Toy Tokyo is a cool store, dude.
They don't even have FAO Schwartz or the toy store in Times Square anymore, which is kind of a bummer.
No, they closed it last time I heard.
Is the Toys R Us in Times Square gone already?
No, that one's still there. That one's pretty popular. It's just, the location.
Yeah, but I read about a year ago. It is set to close.
It is set to close. I just don't know if it's closed yet.
That thing is massive. I don't know how they can keep it going. I mean, it's so big. It has like a Ferris wheel inside.
Ferris wheel, like humongous T-Rexes in there. Superman.
Yeah, animatronic, life-size animatronic T-Rex is in there.
It's ridiculous. It's like 4 floors of just awesomeness. Yeah,
but it's super expensive too.
Yeah. And you know what? The toy selections, I mean, they have them separated, if there's like a Star Wars movie going on, right? Like right now they have like a little section. But I don't know. Like I remember the last time I went, they had a bunch of Jurassic Park stuff. I don't know. I just didn't dig it.
You just have to sell a lot of toys to pay for that space.
You have to have a lot of stuff in there.
A lot of toys and a lot of overhead from all, like how many employees are working on each floor. That place is crazy.
Dude, yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place, but I don't know nowadays how they can afford that. Like the rent in that place must be like stratospheric.
I think that's why it's going out, is I think the rent's going up again and they just can't afford to be there.
Yeah.
It basically has to be like just full of production companies at this point. That's the only person that can afford to be in a space. Like MTV has a studio there. Like that's the only kind of people that can afford to be in that area.
Yeah, anyone who wants a nice Times Square backdrop, pretty much.
Or an Apple computer,
Yep.
Apple can open a mega store in there, and they can afford.
Guys, 2017 is next. Jesus, coming up this weekend, next week. How do you guys think 2016 was for designer toys?
It was a bunch of cool stuff.
It seemed like a lot of companies revved up with a lot of cool products, and it seemed like it made a turnaround. I think 2015 felt pretty bleak, but 2016 seems like it's starting to turn around a little bit more. I think we're still definitely into the micro runs and just keeping things independent. And there's still going to be, it seems like there's a lot of larger companies still having a lot of interest in producing stuff on the mass production level, 500 pieces and more. So that's great. And another thing I think that was good about 2016 was it seemed like the year for commentary. You notice a lot of podcasts and just a lot of good conversation on the social media sites as well. So I think it's been good to see, people having conversations and really thinking about the state of this, the toy scene and where things are headed and where they were and whatnot. I think that's something great.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it was the year of like Japanese vinyl for sure. Like everybody seemed to have done that. Like resin stuff and Japanese vinyl is like, that was it. That was all everybody was making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's also a bunch of, I don't know if they're new artists, but I mean, probably they're already making customs and stuff, but I saw a bunch of people making more stuff, more available, Right now I cannot think of names, but I saw a bunch of Japanese vinyl that was pretty cool. And also, Designer Con is getting bigger, so there was a bunch of new artists that I haven't seen there before from all over. So it was pretty cool. Like, word is spreading about the convention, so people are, venturing. I have a couple of friends in Europe. I'm trying to convince them to come over, if not to show, at least to to hang out and see other people. So they're.
Now, do you guys think a lot of toy collectors in general, have switched over to wanting to own original art, customs, and paintings and that sort of stuff versus collecting toys?
I have.
Yeah, I've heard that from several people.
Yeah, I mean, I like collecting like original art now. I mean, I love the toys, but I don't know. I don't have any space. I mean, right now I don't have the money to do either or. But in a perfect world, I would be collecting more like custom made stuff. Like I started collecting stuff like little paintings of Chamaco from different artist friends.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
dude. That's kind of my jam.
I don't remember ever getting commissioned to do one, but that's cool.
Of course, I asked you a long time ago. Let's do it.
Does everyone know? Did we talk about Chamaco last time?
We did.
I think so, but if in case you didn't tune in last episode, Chamaco is my Brussels Griffon badass dog. He's really cool.
And they can follow him on Instagram at My Name is Chamaco.
Yeah, he wears wigs, and my friend Greg Mishka, the owner of Mishka, got him a little Mishka hat last time because we lost the one we used to have. So now he's like dressed to kill, man. It's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dog.
Did you say he's coming out with his own apparel line?
Yeah, he's got his own apparel line.
It's already out.
Yeah, it's already out.
Oh my gosh.
It's doing really well at Chama Corporation. So he's the CEO.
Of course.
Just, I'm just the pencil pusher.
It sounds like you're the puppeteer. He's making you hustle.
Yeah, he's making me hustle, dude. That food he eats is not cheap.
And he just sits in a sling around your shoulder pretty much most of the time while your hands are doing all the work.
Yeah, he's just, checking out the ladies. And the guys, he likes everybody. He's just chilling, man. Just chilling. He's a pretty cool dog. And we wanna do more stuff like maybe Gary Ham Chamaco collaboration would be.
Let's do it. I've got it on my mind. It's something.
Let's do it.
It's cooking. But last week, actually, something that George had mentioned last week for everyone to check out. I checked it out today. Your YouTube demo reel.
Oh, well, how was that?
Well, let's just say there was a guy that had a lot more hair doing some acting.
Was that like another dude or me?
No, it was a very young version of you. Like, how old were you in most of those clips? Maybe early 20s, maybe?
No. It was all over the place, like 25. Right now, I'm 36. So, yeah, probably 10 years ago. Yeah, I used to have a lot of hair. I mean,
you're like me. As you get older, your hairline starts to creep up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there right with you.
Man, it's like, come on, young people should stop complaining about stupid stuff. when your hair starts like leaving your head and migrating to your back.
That's what skull caps are for. Baseball hats and skull caps.
There you go.
But no, yeah, I mean that's some good stuff. Looks like you were in some Mexican soap operas and whatnot.
Yeah, it used to be huge in there. It was fun. So now, lots of drama.
Were both you and your brother like tandem in this stuff, or is that pretty much just your reel?
No, in that one I think it's just me. But my brother used to do it as well. Like, but he got out of it a little bit earlier. Yeah, there's just a lot of bullshit. I mean, there's bullshit in any industry.
Yeah.
But in this one, yeah, it was very, very bullshitty.
Yeah, so I found it interesting. I was looking at your YouTube demo reel, and then from there, I just started. You know how when you're on YouTube, you just start clicking on the other things that are kind of related. And I'm looking at you doing interviews, and it seems like you went to a bunch of premieres. And yeah, it seems like you're a pretty big dude. And yeah, actually, during one of the interviews, I saw that you were talking about your acting career and something that you'd done recently, and as well as the interviewer was asking you about your participation in doing a Mexican artist series with Kid Robot. So it's like there was some crossover back then. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I it was pretty cool because I was doing the toys and the art kind of like on the side. But then I decided that that's what I wanted to do. Everybody always tells me like, why? But you were on TV. Because they idealize the fact of being on television. But it's like any other job. It can be, tiresome. And I love, like, we grew up being very creative and surrounded by artists and designers and all that stuff. So we always were like, around art and that's, since I was a little kid, all I wanted to do is my own toys. So now I'm doing it. So that's why it was better to make toys than to be on TV.
Well, all I have to say is move over, Nathan Jervicius and Kano.
Oh.
I got my eyes on Carlos East. He's a dreamy Mexican soap opera star.
You know what?
And a toy designer.
I can talk to Santa Claus, and he might be able to get his hands on one of those steamy headshots of Carlos East.
Oh, yeah? Can you maybe sign something for me? XOXO, maybe?
Yeah, maybe he can even get a signature for you. There you go.
Nice.
So sorry, Nathan. Sorry, Kano. Do you guys have headshots? I mean, probably Nathan has, like, any photo that he has, it looks like a headshot.
George, you got to step up your game if you're going to be on this show. We need some headshots from you.
Come on, dog.
Well, I'll tell you, when of course I moved to Los Angeles, and the first thing you do when you get there is you realize, like, oh, I want to become like an extra. I can do this stuff. Like, and you sign up for agencies, and I too have headshots.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Okay, please, for
From
Christmas.
when I was younger, so I was probably around the same age as Carlos back then, about 25 maybe when I was doing it. And I've got some sexy George headshots somewhere out there.
I want to see that, man.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry, Gary.
All I want from Santa this year is, please, I want a signed headshot from each of you that I can frame for the office here.
We can do that.
I need that to happen, like right now.
I can make that happen, I think.
I can make
Please.
that happen too.
George, I'll give you some time. I know you probably have to get back to LA and dig through some boxes, but I need that. I need those.
Yeah, I know where they are. I'll make sure I get them when I get back there.
You can probably ask your mom. You're in New York right now. She probably has a box full of stuff like that. My mom has, like, every time I go to Mexico,
It's hanging on my wall.
there you go. My mom has mine hanging on her wall.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
I'm going to put a space right next to the mic right here. So when I'm talking to you guys, I'm looking at your headshots.
There you
Awesome.
go.
It's gonna be awesome.
That could be like a greetings card, like
Yep.
you wrapped around with a big bow, and then just looking at our headshots like in a dreamy manner.
Man, I'm the odd man out. I don't have any headshots. I got to get in the game. I got to move out to LA and get some stuff in the works.
There you go.
Well, guys, it sounds like 2016 was pretty cool, but I think 2017 definitely for us. We got some fun stuff in the works. Good guests already lined up for next month. And with this episode airing the week between Christmas and New Year's, probably not too many people are going to want to listen to a long episode, so let's try to hit that 1 hour mark. Actually, George, we have never done a lightning round with you. We started doing lightning round after you joined, and this was actually sort of your brainchild. Do you want to play some lightning round with us?
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. George, what was your favorite toy as a child?
Oh gosh, it has to, what age do I pick? It's at one age it was He-Man, at one age it was Muscle, at one age it was Ninja Turtles. Which one do I pick?
I don't know, man.
Let's go with Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Good choice.
Okay, wait, hold up. Let's stop the game for a second, because I want to know. So with Ninja Turtles, like, a lot of companies are doing like stuff Ninja Turtle related now. So you got Kid Robot and Unbox Industries and what the Royal Subjects and Mondo, and so there's a lot of Ninja Turtle products out there. Is it ever too much, or is it never enough for you?
I mean, there's a lot of it I don't buy anymore. Playmates was the toys that I bought. That was my biggest collection of Ninja Turtles. Although there was a time when there was the guy Joey Belladonna from Anthrax used to play a Ninja Turtle guitar. I had a picture of him hanging on my wall with his Ninja Turtle guitar. There was a bunch of, I used to just collect everything I could, and then it got to the point where Ninja Turtles kind of became like they would hoard themselves out to every company that would pay for them to license it, and that's kind of where they're at right now, and it's way too hard to collect that stuff at this point.
They're almost gone KISS status.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that's tough about Ninja Turtles, too, is if you don't just have a favorite, you got to collect them all as a set. So someone like, even Unbox, just released some really nice, gorgeous Sofubi ones. But if you want all four, it's going to cost you $400. And
yeah,
I can see where being a Ninja Turtle fan would be pretty tough if you have to collect every single one every single time a new company releases it.
Yeah, I mean, I might pull a page off of my buddy OG from Big Kev's Geek Stuff. He has a Ninja Turtle collection as well, and he's cut it down to just Donatello because that's his favorite turtle. Yep. So he's got a couple ancillary things around, but his main thing now is Donatello because you run out of shelf space.
Exactly.
So right now, my entire collection most of it is shoved in the back of the giant Ninja Turtles, those big 4-foot ones that Jax made.
Nice.
So I have the two of those, Michelangelo and Leonardo, and then if they put out the other two, I'll buy them. But right now, all my single turtles are shoved in the shells of those two turtles.
Oh, jeez. What was your first designer toy purchased?
I would probably say it was Key. Those were the things that really hooked me into designer stuff, like with different artists' design series.
Okay. I know.
Have you seen that photo, Gary, that George recently posted of all the little keychains that used to come with the keys?
No, I must have missed that.
Dude.
Is this the collection that you have hanging on one of your walls, George?
No.
Yeah, it was all the ones from the wall, and it was because I basically kept every time I bought one of those the keys, they come with a keychain, and I never used the keychain, but I kept all of them in a bag for the longest time, and at some point I strung them all together, color coded because I'm really anal retentive like that, and I color coded them throughout, so all the blacks line up together, all the whites line up together, then the rainbow of the rest of the colors.
Wow.
And it's got to be a mile long. I don't know how long it is, but it wraps around me a bunch of times.
There are a lot of them.
Holy cow. So like you said your collection's huge. I'm assuming your answer is going to be key for this, but what toy in your collection would you say is probably most prominently displayed?
I mean, right now it's probably the OMFG. Just because it's the stuff that I had a hand in making, and I've been putting it up on the shelf. But what they did is they took over what used to be the key shelf.
Oh yeah, there's so many of those too.
But it depends on what shelf you're staring at. I have a pretty large Glyos collection. So if you turn around from OMFG and you look the other way, there's a pretty large Glyos collection. And if you go into the bedroom, it's a pretty big He-Man collection. And next to that on the wall is a pretty big Muscle Man collection.
Jeez, okay.
So it's kind of hard to say which is the most prominent.
Hey, you were smart. At least you got into minifigures.
I had to. I ran out of room.
Yeah.
Although I do have a 4-foot key as well.
Oh, that's right.
It's in the bedroom.
In your bedroom. That thing is huge, dude. It's a beautiful towel hanger,
Exactly.
I need to get your girlfriend on the show. I need to talk to her. That'll be fun.
That's gonna be fun.
We're gonna get her on. I need to talk to her. Just she and I will have some fun.
Yeah.
She's ready.
All right, George. The toy that made you want to make toys. What was it?
I mean, the one that made me want to do designer toys was definitely Key. As far as like making real, like regular toys, like I think it was probably it's probably Ninja Turtles or even Muscle, but definitely like for designer stuff, we definitely like October Toys' first toy was Gwen, and it was a penguin based on the Linux mascot, and it was definitely inspired by Key. And in fact, a couple of the artists in the first series were people that I had met on the Key forum, which was oddly called Keister, which back then I never really thought about it, but now that I say it out loud,
I remember that, dude.
Yeah, so that's where I met Dr. A, artist named Mimic. Trying to think a few other artists back then, and some of those artists even went on to have keys themselves. So it was it was great, and that's where we got a few of the artists for Series 1.
Voltaire, remember?
Yeah, he was big on there as well.
He's a cool dude.
I remember the custom show you had for that, and I remember partaking, but I also remember shipping it out and it was never received on your end. That was the only custom I lost due to shipping.
I was going to say, I don't even remember what yours looked like. So I guess did it never show up?
It never arrived, and that was like before. Yeah, that was really one of my first ever customs. So I didn't have the smarts to. I didn't take photos of it. I didn't really.
No tracking.
This is probably what 2006, 2007, George. I didn't.
It was 2007 was the art show.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened with the tracking, but yeah, it never turned up.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. All right, so George, if you had to strip down your collection to just one thing to collect, one line, what do you think you would strip it down to?
Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. I would probably go Ninja Turtles.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah. Because there's a pretty good variety. Like that way I could still collect, minifigures, action figures, statues.
Right.
There's a pretty big variety if I pick Ninja Turtles.
And there's a lot of nostalgia there too.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, is there a toy that was made that you wish you had made?
If designer toy wise, since we're a designer toy show, I would probably say that turtle camper I was talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I wish I had sculpted that. That's a cool one.
Now, do you have a favorite designer toy?
Trying to think about my apartment and what's around right now. I'll say my favorite for 2016 that was made during 2016, like something that was released 2016, would probably be that ice cream, not ice cream, but snow cone Martian guy. What's that? Snow cone?
Abominable Stone Cone.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite one that came out for 2016. As far as favorite all time, I'd have to think on that one.
Okay. George, the house is on fire. You can only pick 3 items to save. What do you save?
I grabbed my Curious George plush from when I was a baby.
So you ran directly to the shelf of your heart.
Exactly. I grab that. I grab. Can I grab my muscle shelf? It's all in one. It's all encapsulated in one.
But you know what? You can grab a box and just like go like that with your hand. Whoosh.
Well, I don't even need to. Like the shelf just comes right off the wall in one pack. It's one handful.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Okay, and then the third toy would be. We're talking toys, right? Like I don't have to worry about saving my computer.
Nope, everything else is good. Just as
computer
toys
safe.
All right, so the Curious George, the muscle shelf, and I know the I have from the Muppet collection that Palisades made. I'll grab the Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
the cool one.
All right, if there was now you're breaking into licensing. Is there a licensing line that you want to work on?
Ooh.
You get to design your own minifigure series of this line. Who do you choose?
That's a cool one.
Oh, that's tough.
Same to you, Carlos, if you want to answer it.
Ooh.
Yeah, you answer while I think.
Oh, no, that's not fair. If I could do, I don't know, man. Like, you see, I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but there's so many things out there already. Like
I know that's my problem with that.
Yeah, that's
same
my problem.
thing.
Like I would have to pick something. And like I said in the last show, I love Mask, but then it's such an obscure toy line that not many people remember those.
Yeah.
And it would have to be something, like somehow current. I don't know, maybe some Daft Punk love.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely been seeing you post a lot of Daft Punk, in your collection.
Yeah. Saturday, Ben gave me these 400% Bear Bricks, the Daft Punk Bear Bricks, for my birthday present.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's such a cool dude. Thank you, Ben.
Oh, I know it. I got it. I got it.
His name is Daddy.
Daddy likes.
Oh no.
What you got, George?
All right, I would do Deontward.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I thought about it, but I don't know. Daft Punk won. Yeah, Deontward, man. Minifigs, I'm in.
I want Deontward action figures, like regular style action figures, like
either
3 3/4 or even like 7-inch, like that'd be fine too. I want Deontward minifigures. I want Deontward. Yeah, I would do Deontward.
Yeah,
right.
I'm in. Those are awesome.
Very cool. All right, guys, let's make it a nice and short and sweet episode this week. Looking forward to 2017 with you guys. It's gonna be a fun year.
And it went by so fast.
I know it's coming up, but get ready. We got some fun stuff in store for next year. So why don't you guys take a brief moment and let everyone know they can find you. Carlos, go ahead.
You can find me and my bro at the Beast Brothers on Instagram. And you can follow good old Chamaco at My Name is Chamaco on Instagram as well. Should I get a Facebook for there's Facebook, the Beast Brothers Facebook, but I don't know, for some reason I get more action on the Instagram.
I would just go Instagram. I have a fan page on Facebook too, but I have not touched a thing in probably 3 years.
You probably have like these awesome messages like, man, we want to make this toy for you.
Probably not, but George, why don't you go ahead?
At George Gaspar on Twitter and at Couch Grouch on Instagram for now. And however you find it on Facebook, it's just George Gaspar as well.
All right. And I'm Gary Ham. You can find me at superham.com or Gary Ham on Instagram. On behalf of all of us at the Marsham Toy Hour, we wish everyone a safe and happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Woo!
See you later. Happy New Year.
All right. Until our next transmission, we're signing off. Bye.
Sent a collective of tiny robotic servants to a nearby planet to intercept alien forces. The planet was ideal in that it was a bit smaller and had 2 tea times. The invasion never came. Abandoned by their master, the robotic population flourished, in turn becoming the world of wonder called Mectoria. Come with me, Ascendancy, the fun will never end as we now launch a tiny rocket into space. And then when we descend, you'll see that we have many friends. There's tiny robots running all over the place. Let us fly down cobble streets and see the scientists and freaks. Oh yes, we have just begun, it's just a taste. So please stay close to me and pay attention when I speak, because it's dangerous and wild and unique. They are so small, it's glorious. It is the mighty, tiny, proportioned, awesome world of Mectoria. This world is split in sections, sentient specimens, a near-complete collection. Too many here to mention, but each so interesting. So creep with me down tiny streets as I now speak my lessons. There's artists in the carnival, Pig Boy and Whipple Brothers. Put on a show with Antler Girl, Fishman and many others. There's Barnabas, T-Barnabas, Ringmaster and the Hawker, Barker and Fast Talker. Don't stop, please keep walking. The tour has barely started, there are waters deep uncharted. There is evil lurking just like there is good. Domestics, entertainers, there's explorers and there's sportsmen. Peep behind the curtain if you think you should. Don't be too surprised if you find sinister designs in paranormal and the science of the odd. Because a military mind defined by industry and fired by citizens cause trouble in the cogs. They are so small and glorious. It is the mighty, tiny, proportioned, awesome world of Mectoria. spotted. Ever so adorable, but now we need to hop it and find Phineas Croc before this mission is lost, before Mr. Pump's machine tries switching us off. The odd things are close now, it's up to us. Grab your coat, springs, cogs, and a dozen plugs. And start building a new thing. I think the doctor's old blueprints are hidden in the cabinet of Mr. Head. Because these fiends are trying to grasp with a prehensile moustache. It has wheels and it's missing both its legs. But look, here comes some help. It is the gearoids and the gnomes that they are building as a rocket to escape. So wave goodbye to all our mates and all the wonders that they make. These little fellas, well, they're really simply great. They are so small and glorious. It is the mighty, tiny, proportioned, awesome world of Mechtoria. And so we leave this strange, tiny world of wonders and terrors. What will they create next? Will they one day turn on their master? And will there be crumpets? Join us soon for another exciting adventure in the wonderful, glorious world of Mechtoria.